let's talk about circles in our preparation for talking about circumference. So we need to lay some groundwork for circles, and we need to have a pretty good understanding. Circles are kind of their own little creature. We've talked about rectangles and triangles and all kinds of different shapes, but circles kind of have their own rules. We need to make sure we understand the difference between radius and diameter. So when you draw a circle, I'm going to start over here, and this is the center, and I draw a line from the outside of the circle through the center to the other side of the circle. That is the diameter. It goes all the way across. Okay, so the diameter, you can see, has two sections, this section and this section, which are equal distance to the center. Each one of those sections is called the radius. So I'm going to draw another circle over here with the dot for the center, and this is called the radius. And I'm going to label it R. This is called D. This is a good time to take some notes, because this is a really important concept, and it's very easy, but it's often confused. Now, we just said that this diameter has two sections, this one and this one, that are equal. So you can see that the radius would be one of those sections, half of the diameter. So we need to be able to move from the diameter to the radius. So for example, if this diameter was 10, then what is the length of the radius just from the outside to the circle? Well, then the radius would be 5. Let me just label it down here. From here to here and from here to here. So 5 plus 5 is 10, or 5 times 2 is 10. So the diameter is twice the radius, 2 times the radius. All right, and that's how you could say it, 2 times the radius, or twice the radius. Now, the radius is half of the diameter. See, we're missing half of it right here. So the radius is half of, remember the word of means, let me write this. Okay, the word of paired with a fraction, do you remember what that means? That means multiplication. So that means 1/2 times the diameter. I don't need a time sign when I have a letter or a variable. 1/2 times the diameter is the same thing as saying R equals D over 2. Because remember, D is an understood whole number. It's over 1, so 1 times D is D, and 2 times 1 is 2. So you could write it, radius is 1/2 D, or radius is D divided by 2. Those mean the same thing, and I know that's why fractions can be really confusing for us, okay? But we need to understand this as we move into circumference, and also as we move into area and volume and even surface area. So very simple concept. Write your notes down, pause the video, write this down, and then let's go just do some easy problems to work these out, okay? So draw along with me. We're going to follow our same steps. We want to draw and label. I know I sound like a broken record. Draw and label, write your formula, plug your stuff in. That's called substitution. Plug it in, plug it in. Solve it, and make sure you write your units, because as we get into stuff, we've really got to be able to distinguish between our units. Okay? So let's do some. All right, so draw your circle and don't stress over the way it looks. And here's your problem. I'm giving you this right here. Okay? 28 inches. So what did I just give you? How would you label this? Well, it goes all the way across, so that's the diameter, D. So now I'm telling you that you need to go and find the radius. So go ahead and mark it on your paper. So if you need to find the radius, your formula is, of course you could use either one of these. I just like this one. It's less writing for me. Radius equals diameter over 2. Diameter divided by 2. You're dividing the diameter in half. R equals 28 divided by 2. R equals 14. Is that easy or what? Now, I want you to do these steps right now. Could you, in your head, say, oh, I know that goes all the way across, so if I want that, that's half? Yes, you can. All right? But we're going to overkill it, remember, right now. And later on, when you're really savvy and quick, you can start shortcutting it, but not right now. So what if you have something that looks like this? See how it looks different? They like to give it to you in a different presentation. And I tell you that this is 5.1 feet. And I want you to find the radius, so go ahead and say r equals question mark. Now, what did I give you 5.1? Well, that's the diameter. So if I'm looking for radius, what formula would I use? This one, or would I use this one? You want the D or the R? Well, if you're looking for the number for R, you need this one. So R equals D over 2. R equals 5.1 over 2. R equals 5.1. Don't stress because it's a decimal. 5.1 divided by 2 is 2.55, and that's feet. Now that's pretty easy, right? So now let's do some going the other direction. So, and you can Google some worksheets on practicing radius and diameter. Actually, Math Annex has got some really great worksheets on this, so check that website out, mathantics.com. Okay, so if I give you this, what did I just give you? Is that the diameter or is that the radius? Well, that's the radius, right? So I'm asking you to find the diameter. So you're going to use which formula? Do you want the one that says R equals or the one that says D equals? So of course you want the one that says D equals. So D equals 2 times the radius. D equals 2 times 2.5. You need to know how to use formulas. Could you do this in your head? Yes, but you need to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. So 2.5 times 2 is 5.0. Use your calculator. Okay, easy schmeezy. Let's do one more. So if I give you this, what did I just give you? Well, that's the radius. Okay, and I'm going to tell you that it's 3 miles. And I want you to find the diameter. So the diameter would come all the way across here. Of course, you know that that would just be doubled, right? But we're just getting practice on using our formula. Since we're looking for D, our formula needs to equal D. So D equals 2R. D equals 2 times 3. Put it in parentheses. D equals 6 miles. Easy or what? Okay. Now, if it were me, I would update my formula sheet, preparing for your HiSET or your GED, and I would label my diameter, because we just get these mixed up, I'm telling you. And D equals 2R, and radius, R equals D over 2. I would do the same thing on my GED formula sheet, because this would be a good study tool for me. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about using diameter and radius to solve for circumference.